MVP for MTLPH Season 1. However, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see them play together more often. I know they've been training with Yaoi more, so this is sort of like a sudden call of duty for JP. Similar to what happened to him the last time he was in Jakarta when suddenly JP was slotted into the lineup for Echo and M4, but they still played really well. We already saw what it was like seeing JP in action for Echo earlier the day up against Bigatron, and man, he just gets better with age.
I mean, he got MVP as well, so impact-wise, it's still evident here. And I do agree, I feel like with Yaoi yesterday, especially on the group stage phase, there's a slight disconnect more often than they were on with JP. So again, it seems like they're more comfortable moving around, rotating around with JP. Going up against another Philippines team though, is it going to get to them, is my question.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we'll see, right? In terms of statistics for Echo, you can already see a slight difference here. Sanford with Uranus, but Zyda is really the player that I really wanted to highlight here. Getting the MVP in game number 1 earlier on against Bigatron on his Star Assassins. Now, for Kyle TZ, a little bit more of a utility player, but he has Assassins in his arsenal too, or is this just preference now?
Yeah, it's because in MDL Philippines, the meta was slightly more different, so you actually saw more Assassins in MDL-PH, hence why you see Zyda playing more Assassins. Outplayed, on the other hand, he still reminds me a lot of the same outplay that I saw in MDL-PH. A very dependable player, knows when to pop off when needed. He is very cautious at times, but at the end of the day, that's still better than having a marksman that you know will just go gung-ho. At least you know he's going to prioritize staying alive and then finding the right moment.
I see your point, but then again, when he is forced on a Beatrix, let's say, 0% here, is that his weakness, is what I'm asking here. Will Bren force played on a Beatrix? Because Bren, they have research, and there you go, 33%, very low win rate on that Beatrix.
Super low. Let's see the comparison later on as we bring out the official team lineup here for AP Bren. It's going to be Flap TZ, Kyle TZ, Pew, Super Marco, as well as Ogwen.
Yeah, so far they are still the only team to take down Onyx. That was in the group stage. Onyx are on a run. AP Bren faltered somewhat during the group stages. They dropped series to BTR. They lost 1-2 to BTR. Echo beat BTR earlier, so you know that's like
rock, paper, scissors.
Scissors, paper, rock, shoot.
Yeah, well, what kind of math is going on here? But yeah, what I like about Bren is that they've really grown as a team. MVP honors for Flap, Kyle, Ogwen, Super Marco. So that's all of them, right? Kyle, Flap, Ogwen, Super Marco. Oh, we're still missing Few. We're still missing an MVP accolade there for Few. But yeah, I love how they play together as a whole unit.
I mean, I completely agree with you. The AP Bren, they can't rely on each other, but I really love to see the head-to-head against the roamer here. Ogwen as well as
JP.
JP, MDL going up against his brethren, well, his fellow Filipino, but MTL. Again, how will JP play this out? Because Ogwen, he is a very versatile roamer, I might say.
Yeah, you're right. He can bring out the Minotaur, he can bring out the Grok. Whereas from the side of JP, we've only seen him being able to find success with heroes that have really good pickoff, right? Like Franco, Kaja earlier on. So how is that gonna do? Does he not have it? Is that just his play style? And if so, isn't that something that can be tarnished?
Yeah, well, no, he does have it actually. He still has a Natalia roam pickup that we haven't seen in the SPS and in MPLPH. MDLPH, he has a wider roam pool, so hero pool isn't going to be the biggest problem there for JP. It's now just like recency in terms of like volume of games played at this point. I mean, AP Bren, they're solidified. They've played all throughout the Snapdragon Pro Series. Meanwhile, JP just coming in is, again, a very sudden call of duty. It's going to be on him to be able to slot in to the lineup really quickly. What I'm gonna be looking at in this matchup though is like what kind of mid laners we're gonna be getting from both Few and Sanji.
That's a very tough question, right? Are they going for the conventionals here? I mean, Few really likes the Paramis here, it seems like, and he's not bad. I mean, rotating with Ogwen, who really likes that Minotaur. I do want to focus on this Minotaur here. Minotaur, it's a hot pick for Bren. Will the side of Echo, will they ban it out?
That's a good question. That's a good question, especially now that we're looking at the win rates coming in from Super Marco, their gold laner as well.
Whoa.
Now that's the story, right? Beatrix 100% against what they're going for 0%.
Yeah, this is going to be a Beatrix versus Claude matchup. It seems like Outplayed like super comfortable in the Claude. Meanwhile, Super Marco is either the Beatrix, and if the Leslie's open, he'll also pick up the Leslie. So yeah, it's going to be spicy. The trades in terms of the gold lane picks.
I agree. And you have to put the focus on Beatrix. What's the difference that Beatrix has with these other gold laners? Let's say like Claude, right? I feel like the Claude has a little bit more oomph to it in the fact that it can utilize his skills to outplay situations. You see that wordplay?
Yeah.
Whereas for Beatrix, it's only a single dash. So there's not much to the kit, there's not much to the arsenal to utilize how aggressive outplay can be in these gold lane matchups.
Yeah, the thing with the Beatrix and the Claude, I feel like the Beatrix overall just deals more raw damage in quicker bursts. Meanwhile, as it goes on, that's when the Claude starts to do more damage and starts to get really annoying.
I mean, let's not forget, right? If we're talking about the Beatrix, this is a hero that can pick up the House Claws later on in the stage. And perhaps with that House Claws, it will create miscalculations. It will create more damage as well when this Beatrix is using his, let's say, SMG.
Yeah.
I agree, but it depends on the playstyle of the person piloting it, right? Because of the change coming in from Beatrix, you don't get lifesteal based on the ultimates that you utilize.
Yeah.
So you can only take that lifesteal from the Haas Claws using her basic attacks. So is it more of a shotgun type of Beatrix? Is it more of a snipey Beatrix? It really depends on how these players want to utilize it, because we've seen various different playstyles from just one hero, the Beatrix alone.
Yeah, for sure we're going to be seeing shift constantly like in-game in terms of what they're going to prioritize. Usually the first item tells it. I mean, the first item almost always is just going to be a BOD anyway. So yeah, I guess it's the power of the Matrix. Like, the power of you to choose. Do you want to poke more? Do you want to be able to be better with clearing, deal better AoE damage? Meanwhile, Claude, I think the biggest threat he brings to the table is his split pushing. Matrix cannot split push like a Claude does. And maybe that's one of the reasons why Echo loves this hero so much, because with that, they can pull off those signature split push plays.
Oh, so flexibility is what I would say the Claude is lacking, but mobility makes up for it.
Exactly.
And you know, on the desk, we've been talking about both of these teams. I don't think anyone has a prediction just yet, but I'm also wondering what the viewers at home or even at the venue are thinking. Are you guys on the Echo Express, or do you think that AP Bren has what it takes to dethrone the M4 champions? Please let us know, especially for those of you over at Twitch. And with that, let's bring out the talent predictions.
We're all leaning Bren this side. I think what I said earlier there about Bren might be the case. I think all of us see it as being more of a stable team on paper so far.
You know what? The reason why I'm pretty confident or convinced that Bren will take this game is solely because of the roster swap here. You know, sure, Echo, without taking anything away from the side of this team, it's a young team, it's an MDL team. Experience-wise, perhaps they are a little bit in the lacking side if we compare it on paper from the side of AP Bren. So that's just my take.
All right, with that being said, I actually want to change my prediction.
Okay.
I actually want to go 2-1 for Echo. Seeing how they played against Bigatron Alpha earlier on, I had the same concerns. You know, it feels like this Yaoi, these new two players coming in, it's not really the right Echo fit for me just yet. And I was also really worried with Yaoi stepping out, with, of course, the roamer coming in, JP. I was also unsure, but seeing them play against Bigatron earlier on, it feels like that synergy issue, that chemistry issue has been ironed out. I think that was the strongest and what I was reminiscent to see from Echo for the longest of time. And with that, I'm going to change 2-1 to Echo. If I lose, I will do push-ups on the desk.
Like Olios.
No. Yeah, kind of.
Sure.
But with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into the drafting phase, because, of course, 60% is going to rely on this right now. Echo, they're going to be on... Is this blue or red side? I'm getting a little bit confused here.
It's going to be blue side AP Bren.
Blue side, AP Bren, correct.
So Echo, red side.
Yeah.
Yes, the blue side, AP Bren perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with that, Faramis Joy has been taken away. You can see the Yves We can see Kaja as well as wow.
Yep.
All right, 2 heroes taken away from JP. Asking him the question, what will you bring out next?
He still has a Kufra and a Grok available for him in the roam. And again, if ever it is available and Kaltizi says, oh, I want to play the Assassin, they might even consider picking up the Natalia for JP. I have to admit, there is one more cheesy or specific roamer pick that they love to use in MDLPH, but I cannot recall it right now. I will react if I see it.
Okay.
Valentina is going to be the first pick here for AP Bren.
Well, let's not forget, if we really want to dissect this roamer position, right? Ogwen, he really likes the Minotaur. And if AP Bren really commits to this Minotaur, I feel like JP needs to respond with another support hero. Is he comfortable with a Enchanter type of roam is the question.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember, but it's slipping through my fingers, right? I can't remember it. But Echo right now, they're going to go ahead and pick up the Uranus. So AP Bren would want to lock in. I wouldn't mind if they decide to lock in their Beatrix right now. Just something that can at least weather the storm. That is the damage in the presence of the Uranus going straight for the back line. They can pick up an Arlot right now, available for Flap. Easy, but the Arlot versus Uranus matchup can be not great for the Arlot at times because of just what Uranus can bring to the table. So AP Bren really need to consider this Uranus if they're going to be picking up the Arlot.
It could be Dairoth. It could be Paquito.
Or Dairoth. Yeah, Dairoth. Thank you.
Those are 2 options that, of course, AP Bren can utilize. We saw that Dairoth alone isn't enough, honestly, to penetrate Uranus.
Yep.
So maybe with the Paquito coming in, that burst damage will be able to come through. But here it is. Ogwen on his signature hero is going to be the Minotaur being pulled up first in the first phase, along with the Paquito.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, right? They really like the Minotaur, and it somehow forces JP on another support hero because Minotaur can heal you, and as well as that Minion Fury with that crowd control. Asking a real question here, perhaps JP might respond with a Diggy here? Is it his type of hero, Diggy, question mark?
I think they might have it as an option for them.
Oh, but no.
So, no, this can still be a mid lane Kadita and then a roam Diggy later on. And I think that's what Echo are trying to bait out. They might be trying to bait out a Diggy ban from AP Bren.
Oh, okay. Let's see here what will happen in the second phase. AP Bren, you know what? I really like it, right? They have the physical burst for that Paquito. Again, still a question. Will it go to the jungle? Will it go to the XP? So a very good flex that they can exploit later on. Echo, what are they really looking for in second phase? They need...
So neither junglers and their potential
Roam
roamer or
mid.
mid laner, yeah.
For sure. And from the side of Bren, now this is the question that I want to ask. What are you going to utilize in that gold lane to be able to power through the aggression and the oppression from a Claude in lane? Because earlier on, carry, not a thing.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay? Beatrix, possibility?
Yeah, the Beatrix is what I'm looking at here for Super Marco. If not the Bea, if he's really feeling it, he might lean towards more the Leslie, but he's up against that Uranus, and I'd love to see AP Bren have a faster attack speed instead of going for that chunks of burst coming out of the Leslie. But it'd be okay too. I think the Leslie can handle... Super Marco will be able to handle Outplayed Outplayed's Claude in lane if he ended up picking up the Leslie.
Okay. Let's see here what will be the approach here. You mentioned that the carry isn't good enough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
We saw it earlier.
Like, carry, mid, late, okay, great. But early game, she's so easily punished that the Claude usually has a good time early game, even before level 4, and after Blazing Duet, it's even worse. So it really depends. If you want to pick up a carry, that's okay, but utilize something in the mid that can rotate quickly and clear very quickly as well to support the carry in that gold lane.
Exactly. And right now, I mean, the lineup doesn't scream fast rotation, especially on the Minotaur and the Valentina, but if that Claude is going... Paquito, rather, is going to the jungle, that does scream fast wave cleared. So if ever they're going to be leaning towards a carry, then they will have the conditions that you mentioned in turn for them to go ahead and pick that up. And maybe that's why they're taking out the Cho.
Wow, really here? 4 bans towards JP.
It's going to be a Diggy, I feel like. That's going to be a Diggy pickup. But then the jungle hero of Echo needs to be something like either a Marcus or a Fredrin.
Okay.
Yeah. Marcus or Fredrin, either or.
I think save roam for last.
Yeah.
I think
Use it to flex.
Yeah.
I would secure, honestly, a Martis here.
Okay.
Just because of the anti-CC, it won't be able to be harassed by the Minotaur and potentially the Valentina as well.
And at the same time, at least you'll have someone who can just like, you know, chain kills together. Because at least they'll have an insurance policy from early to mid if ever the Claude will take too long.
Okay. Really? No, it's going to be the Grok here, it seems
it's a Grok
like.
roam.
So it's a Grok roam for JP. They're not going to flex and utilize it for that last pick here. So what will be the response here? I think...
You know what? I'm going to admit something. In our letter to the teams, in my letter to AP Bren, I told them, hey, if you guys ever play Jawhead, especially Jawhead Gold, I will share my box of donuts with you.
Ooh.
It's been going on this entire SPS. If they show up Jawhead here, I think I'm actually going to cry.
Yo, them.
Just straight up tears of joy.
I have a feeling it's going to be Carry though, guys.
Carry.
Or
Carry makes the
Lunox.
most.
Lunox Gold Lane, does that work?
Not really a Super Marco thing to do.
All right.
The
so
only other mage or magic damage dealer he'll play in the gold lane is the Nathan. So yeah,
There you
Carry.
go.
Carry
Called it really
Purify.
well.
There's no more choice. With the Grok being picked up, they won't have enough damage to punch through the front line coming in from Echo. So they're forced into that carry pick. We've seen Akai being picked up as well.
Yep.
Is this Flex or is this Roam Akai?
Oh no, that's
Jungle.
Jungle Akai for
Jungle
sure.
Akai?
For
Yeah.
Crowd TZ.
Awesome.
Jungle Akai, Carry, forced to use that Purify here. Still good when against two.
They can still slot into Diggy here, I think.
Diggy,
They can put the
wait.
Grok in the jungle if
Grok
ever.
Jungle, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that. It's kind of sus. I'm not
kinda
convinced. I'm not convinced here if that is the approach that they're going to commit.
Martis.
Martis, yeah.
Martis.
Those were the ones who we discovered. Oh, a Link for Zaida. I wouldn't think he'd pick up the Link considering that he's already up against an Akai, a Minotaur, a Paquito, even a Valentina. Interesting. Okay, so Echo want to play macro here. Very macro heavy lineup potentially.
Very risky as well. Let's see if it's going to work out. Connie, any final thoughts on these two rosters?
I think I dislike that link.
You don't like the Ling?
Yeah.
Let's see if the casters like the Ling. Ring, ring, ring.
Mosh Mosh, Leo and Mirko Desu, we actually like the Ling because it's the needed bit of finishing power that'll give Echo a fighting chance against top seed in Group B.
I agree with you, Leo. I mean, looking at the way that Echo have been winning, especially up against Bigatron Alpha as well, it comes down to how they're able to make it very sporadic. Don't go for these team fights 5v5. Go for these team fights 5v5, but change the angles a bit. Make it a little bit, get jiggy with it.
Yeah, get jiggy with it. And here you'll see both of us actually predicted the same, right? 2-1 in favor of the recently crowned IESF Asia Oceania qualifier champions, AP Bren. Also, SEA Games go. Oh, we don't talk about
We
that.
don't talk about that. No, Leo, bad. No, okay? That never happened.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
It's SPS time. Here we go. Game number 1 in the land of Dawn. And it's a counter mirror start. Zaida on his orange first. And Kyle TZ on his purple. Looking at our quick starts. And oh, look. Who
looking.
wants an early 4?
Ooh. All right, interesting start here already. Going over to the XP lane, getting level 2 now. JP, a lot of damage placed onto him early on. They're trying to force a flicker out, but JP holds on, has that power of nature to get out.
Yep. Quick look at our emblems here. Oh no, is this? Yeah, possibly the most number of common emblems in a single team yet.
3, Claude, Grok, and the Uranus. Now, we have seen a lot of Claudes, well, all the Claudes, and a lot of Uranus, all the Uranus.
Some
But
glue.
Grok, we haven't seen a lot of that, a common emblem Grok.
Sustainability is the key. Again, Grok is a tank that needs mana. Now wait, they oblige.
All the way under the tier 1, JP still holding on to the flicker, but now gets engaged on. The heavy spin takes him out. Few with first blood.
Minute and a half in, AP Bren finds a quick first blood up top, and this isn't going to bode well for that turtle take rate for Echo. And the matter of fact is they're continuing to bully. Outplayed.
We've been mentioning this a whole lot, man. Claude does good into the carry now, but when you have these many members up top, outplayed, forced to use a BMI, losing the entirety of the gold cannon minion. JP now caught in the midst. Another kill for Few as early as the first minute.
And this is going to be enough time for AP Bren actually make their way down through the map. What's going to happen here is Echo is going to read the room and say, you know what? This turtle isn't as free as we think it is. AP Bren making the call to send Coyote back into his purple and then come back all the way until the turtle. This is a delayed turtle take rate. A little bit more of a thing that was in a trend in mid-2022, and it's coming back now given how the meta is slowly going into a renaissance state. Real quick, something to note here, the fact that up top we got 2 kills off AP Bren. Akai still deals a ridiculous amount of mana. You just don't read it. Yeah, you just don't understand why, but that's just how Akai is. He was never touched, even in the post-patch meta.
I honestly really like Kaltizi's choice of emblem here, going for the concussive blast for a little bit more damage when he jumps in. And now we're seeing just a free turtle take here. There's no way Zyda can get here in time. And that's going to be, oh, JP jumping in with a wild charge, but now stolen away. Heavy spin, locking them down. Few using the wild charge by himself as well. JP now taken out by the wild panda.
That's a 3rd death on JP. Good news is he's the roamer. He can afford it. Bad news is it's given AP Bren a 2,000 gold lead already. Oh, Zyda comes in!
I don't know about this, man. Sanford still able to survive with the consecration. Zyda in the midst right now. Top of the blaze used up. Flat TZ falls. Zyda will get taken out, though. That's the Kung Fu in the panda.
They're playing with the economy. They're forcing out answers. And so far, Echo are clapping back. Echo are presenting a threat. It's not so easy. Nothing comes for free. But in the end, if this continues at this rate, AP Bren's going to come out on top, not just in the laning stage, but even in the mid-game, especially since we're looking at Super Marco on a carry. When it comes down to it, toe-to-toe, especially in the 9-10 minute mark, it's so difficult, especially when you're looking at damage like this.
Oh, wild charge comboed in with a rough waves, petrify from Sanji. Ogwen with a desperate minion's fury, trying to stop that from happening, but it still goes through. Few taken out. But back to the point, I agree with you. I think here, AP Bren, they've gotten a significant lead, and through their trio mid, they can push this even further. It's all about the trio mid for AP Bren.
Yep, and the reason why that was a win for Echo just then, and it stopped the ballooning of that lead up to 3,000, is because the trio mid was absent. For a second there, they were separated, and that's why now they're making up for it. Some lost time, presence in mid here, propping up for the second turtle take. Coyote, all right, force Zyda with the retry.
Beautiful one. I mean, now 13 seconds for the turtle. It should be another freebie for AP Bren. They have a retry advantage and a heavy spin. It's automatically never a 50-50. And down below as well, the Paquito pick into a Uranus. Flat TZ understanding the situation, knowing turtle's up top.
Oh, he's buying time. He's pinning down 4 members of Echo. He's saying, hey, if you're not going to answer me, then this is a free lane. And just the same, Echo finds it. They understand that we're not touching turtle anyways. Let's make the most of this down bottom. First turret goes down, and then AP Bren makes up for it over at the turtle. But wait,
Petrify, rough waves, wild charge, everything thrown at Flap TZ, taking him out even though he's under the tier 2.
All right, you know what? That last sequence, win for Echo. They made more economic damage there, but wait. They come up to mid!
They've used a lot of resources here. Kaltizi is going to be able to walk out of this one easy peasy. AP Bren taking a turret up top, trading. You're never going to see AP Bren just get beaten in these trades, these 50-50s.
Yep, delayed response here, but then all the while, AP Bren still chalked it up to a return anyways, right? They got the push up top. Now they're picking a fight in mid, terrifying Sanford. No one home. They're looking for an angle here. Heavy spin online. All ults up for AP Bren.
Grouping up very early on. Few dodging away from the breath of the ocean. Meanwhile, Kaltizi trying to go for this purple buff. Walks in range, side up. Beautiful retribution to secure it. Could have been a very disastrous steal for Echo, but they still hold on.
And that's what's important here. The fact that Echo in the post-laning phase understand the dynamics that, hey, they're going to start taking what we have and start trying to isolate us, and now Sanford pops his Purify.
Even with the Purify, still pinned down for a bit, but it is a very tanky Uranus with Brave Smite. Pops into Consecration, gets out. A bit more pressure down for AP Bren, but Echo, again, are still holding on. Now, the question I want to ask you now is Echo trying to just weather out the storm, waiting for those power spikes to finally hit?
And the answer that you're looking for is yes. They have a Claw that needs to farm. They have a Ling that needs to farm. And I think it's down to AP Bren to actually pick up the pace. This is one of the few times that they can actually bully Echo. Because when we do hit the post-late game phase, I'm looking at 14, 15 minutes. If Echo isn't put down under, Echo's going to take control. If anything, Echo can actually just snap into position at the First Lord if AP Bren don't take them down harder. So now it's up to AP Bren. I'm wondering if they're going to get lost in that craze, if they're going to get lost in their own aggression.
Let's see though, because Super Marco, that late game entrance for Bren as well, is about to hit that item power spike. Very close to the 3-item power spike. Ogwen jumps in, heavy spin from Kyle Teasy, free turtle over to AP Bren. 4-3 in kills, very close, but in the neutral objective game, it is all Bren.
Yep. But then again, it still holds true, right? Even if it seems like AP Bren is so far ahead, you have to respect the fact that Echo are just ramping up to an eventual power spike. It's delayed gratification here for Echo. They might seem like they're not doing much now, but wait, they find a wild charge!
Oh, in the back, Oakwood with the Mutant's Fury gets outplayed out, and the damage is not going to be enough. That's also a wild charge. Flapteasy now in the midst. Zyda able to escape. That's a defensive placing duet, but Flap just punches through everyone to find JP.
And here, it's evident that JP doesn't have enough items yet. Again, now Echo's feeling the effects of him getting beat down in the early game. 4 deaths even before the 6-7 minute mark. So now, JP has to understand that, yeah, I have to do better at protecting myself.
Wow.
Whoa! The heavy spin displaces Sanji. So yeah, again, here in the mid to late game, this is the ramp up. Echo have to be careful. Now it's come to the point wherein they only have 1 tier 2 left.
Even here, man, I mean, Zyda's trying to just look for scraps on the map. Good damage on the Kyle Teasy, though. No heavy spin. They understand it. They want to punish it. Kyle's still able to survive, though. Time to Blaze used up. Kyle gets out. The blazing duet from outplay, but there's no way he'll take these frontliners down.
And there you'll see all the space that has been bought for AP Bren, specifically for Super Marco. No deaths, 1 kill, and just barreling forward in gold earned. This is as funnel as it gets. He is 2,000 gold ahead of his closest rival in Zyda. So yeah, Miracle, you mentioned how he's going for scraps. Still pretty good scraps, and now it's a scuffle for the purple. Zyda still gets it.
Zyda, even in the game against Bigatron Alpha, the question we raised was how? How in the world is he above Super Ken when he's behind, when the team is behind? And now you get the same feeling. Kyle Teasy all throughout this game has been dominating, but look who has the level lead. It's Zyda. Again in game number 1 up against Bren, AP Bren.
He just knows how to use space. He just knows how to use his hero's kit. Between an Akai and a Ling, even with the Akai ahead, even with Kyle Teasy calling the shots most times when they go into team fights, Zyda knows that, all right, we have been losing all of these early to mid-game engagements. Let me focus on what I can do. And that's taking turrets and pushing waves wherein you're not there. You have to come get me, not the other way around. So that's why Echo are keeping this lead as tight as possible. Barely 5K, 6K now at 10 minutes and a half with the Lord marching through. But it's getting smaller. The space that Zyda can actually find and build up a farm for himself is getting so much smaller.
Oh, Sanji displaced once again by the heavy spin. Good disengage from Kyle Teasy. Sanford now walking in JP with a wild charge to the back, but it gets melted down. The Midnight Fury connects, and that's another follow-up in the back flap. Teasy dealing damage to Marco without a flicker, not even using the Purify. Takes Sanji and JP out.
Like a trampoline that looked like. The fact that Bren are so far ahead now, they've got an 8,000 gold lead inside the base. It's just outplayed in Zyda.
It might be over just here, 11 minutes in, outplayed. Wow, 1 splash of damage, and it takes all of his HP out. Now the base wide open, they're gonna go for it. 11 minutes.
AP Bren are rushing this. Is that the fastest game we've had all day today?
Yeah, it's a speed run by AP Bren.
I wasn't ready to call it just yet.
Me neither.
Folks at home, we were expecting much more here, but AP Bren found their window and they sped it up. Definitely they understood the dynamics of what Echo was trying to do. And yeah, now I understand where Gani's coming from. They don't like that Ling, maybe this is why.
It was an amazing game, amazing performance from AP Brennan. Can't wait for the analysts to dissect it.
How about it? It's your turn. Eterna?
Caught it. Man, I kind of regret changing my predictions a little bit, but that's okay.
No takes backsies.
We're a man of our word, right? We're
Yeah.
gonna just power through this, but what's a valiant effort from Echo. Brent 10-3 in an 11-minute game. That could have been better for Echo, man. 11 minutes.
Yep. I think Bren Esports or AP Bren knew the eventual what would eventually happen if Echo got to play this game right. They're gonna lose the macro game.
Yeah.
So Bren said, "Yeah, we're gonna win this in the first 5 minutes. We'll just constantly mess up." Outplayed in the gold lane,
Yeah.
and our CC, our crowd control heavy mid 3, will not get it to the point where your burst heavy mid 3 will be able to shine.
I see your point here, Reptar. Very great point. And again, it seems like Bren, they were able to read every rotation from side of Echo. The gold, the mid, they read Echo like a book. And the crowd control, you mentioned the AoE, the crowd control. It's a crowd control party. Remember, if you can take away the wall charge, we saw that earlier on as well. So there you go, more crowd control for side of Bren to use.
Wait a
Utilize.
second.
Okay.
956 gold per minute
Oh, yeah?
for Super Marco on the carry in a losing matchup against the Claude. That is crazy. And it all comes because of the rotations coming in from Kyle TZ, 207 KDA, a KP of 90%. And there are so many unique interactions that I just found out about. Heavy Spin being able to push the Kadira away mid-ult. Like, that was not something that I knew could happen, but he taught me otherwise. What an amazing game by him, being able to out-rotate. The fact that he had a lot of CC in his kit as well. And this is what I was saying. If you can facilitate the carry in the gold lane,
Chance to
casters,
join that, yeah. I
want
also
the
want
best.
the jackets.
The jackets look cool too. You know what else is cool? Drafting phases.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second drafting phase here between Echo as well as Bren. And taking a look at this, are there any changes to the bans that they've gone for? Franco Kaja still the same.
Yep.
We see a Joy. Is Faramis and Angela going to be the next one?
Is it though, right? I mean, again, based on game one, if they really want to adjust it ASAP, they should respect that Minotaur. I know it's an expensive ban, but let's see here. Faramis might be the answer again. But there you go. It's going to be the Kadira this time.
Interesting. They don't want to give up the Kadita to AP Bren.
Okay.
Well, then again, I think Echo are thinking about the possibility that APB are just going to end up playing a lineup that want to end the game quickly. Because it's a pro player mentality thing. If the first game ends super fast, like it was very dominating, the team who won in that fashion would want to replicate that.
Okay.
Then again, it's that idea of momentum. So maybe that's why they're doing it. It is still, to me, quite questionable, but I get it somewhat.
So they want to somehow make Bren, or overzealousness perhaps here.
Yeah.
Bren needs to be aware of that.
If there's something I would have wanted to change in the Echo draft from the first one was
Okay.
that I'd want to see Sanford in a more proactive hero, not like a Uranus. He managed the lane well, and the reason why Echo got the ganks onto Flap TZ was because Sanford did an amazing job in that lane. But I want to see him someone who's more active in the map.
Playmaking.
Yeah, and with also control abilities.
So let's see, because earlier on when Gideon was casting, he was like, bro, I don't like the Uranus. Like, why are you doing Sanford so dirty? With the exact same mindset. So coming into this, let's see who's going to be able to pick it up first. But it looks like Echo might have to pick it up here. With the Uranus being opened up, Bren actually went for Valentina once again for their first pick. I mean, there's no choice. Would you rather let it go at this point?
That's true. Very hard, right?
The exact same drafts are coming in, ladies and gentlemen, between both of these teams.
This is what I'm saying, right? Bren, they were able to read the rotation from side of Echo, and as well as their draft. It seems like they're forcing Echo to draft what they want to for them to draft. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
What's going on here? Why does this happen to me when I'm with you guys? I mean, you guys are doing a fantastic job with the analysis. I just want to say that. You know what? Yeah, I'm good. I'm all right on my notes.
Wait, whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, as expected, Minotaur again.
Yeah, Minotaur expected. Fanny? Was that
Yeah.
really expected? I mean, because like people go with the saying, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they completely went 360 here, picking up something like the Fanny, who isn't as versatile. Wow.
Yeah, but then again, it supports your statement here. They want to win in a fast style. And Fanny is a hero that can end things quickly. Snowball, get that snowball early. Invade. Minute 12, second Lord, done.
Yeah, man, this could be not a fun game for Outplayed or Sanji.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they go ahead and pick up the Angela, sort of just like balance things out. But man, what are Echo gonna end up with here in the jungle? Well, maybe they'll pick up the Martas this time around. Sometimes we see Fredrin. Ling is still available, but will Echo really want to go Ling and again?
I mean, they could, now that they have the Uranus, right?
And an Angela
Exactly.
too. But then they're gonna be playing into AP Bren's cards here. They're gonna need someone with way better wave clear and faster scaling for their mid lane. Because I think this Angela's gonna go into the roam.
Okay.
So what do we have here?
What do we have is the
Rock
real
Cho
question.
is an option that Echo can utilize here coming to the second phase.
Yeah. Rock. Oh, you think the Angela's gonna go in the mid lane?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's the flex, right? It's still up in the air. Depends on what AP Bren is going to ban here. Seems like there you go. They are trying to limit the jungle option. Makes sense. Perhaps Ling. You mentioned Ling earlier can be also an option to be banned out. Echo though.
Yeah, if I'm
Are they
AP
forcing
Bren,
carry
Oh,
again?
no, they're Bren might pick up Leslie here. It seems like a Leslie comp here for side of AP Bren if Echo doesn't ban it out.
I'm leaning towards the carry. I would get the Leslie though, but I'm just leaning a bit more towards the carry in this scenario. Because you're gonna have the Fanny who's gonna be swooping in and then swooping out. During that time, it'd be good to have the carry just going with the light wheels, fast basic attacks. Faster basic attack priority here is what I'm looking at for APB.
But what about Harith,
Oh.
right? Because last time it was banned out. I think it does well against the Claude in lane. So depending on whose lane you want to prioritize, you can definitely go for a Harith and try to utilize that as your winning lane.
And again, that's just really going to be AP Bren wanting to end this super quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, they took out the boxer? Yeah, I think this is going to either be a Harith or what you said earlier, the Leslie.
Let's not forget about Esmeralda here, which perhaps APB is also looking forward here with the Baksha ban. Going up against an Angela Esmeralda in that EXP can be also a very expensive hero that can be picked up. So Echo, I'm sure they are able to locate that Esme pick. It's just a matter of how do they anticipate with this Esme
Yeah, I agree. And they literally have no answer for the Esmeralda if AP Bren pick it up. Dyroth, Paquito, even Boxy has been taken out. So, that's brilliant. Echo, they're forced in a really tough decision. If they want to anticipate that Esmeralda pick, they go for crowd control here. But they don't. They go for a Fredrin, who also generates shielding.
Esme Leslie is my guest here for side of APB.
And it's going to be late game versus early to mid game.
I like Esme Leslie. There's no dive.
So Esme in the XP lane, then Leslie in the gold lane, yeah.
There's no dive. Who's going to be able to dive on the Leslie if they pick it up here?
Oh, but no, it's Rizla. Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be a much more active XP laner for AP Bren. Faster wave clear for the Turizla. So Echo really going to need to watch their jungle.
Let's see here.
I'm still leaning towards the carry. But again, I get the Leslie.
It does make sense.
Oh, or the Harris that you mentioned, yeah.
Ooh, 3 juicy heroes. but
Beatrix.
Neither of the 3.
He's like,
Wow.
you can't predict me, casters.
I'm not readable.
Please.
I
They
still
pick
like
up
it.
the Beatrix. All right, all right. A little bit
Yeah.
more flexibility in that lane. Definitely should stand a chance against a Claude as well, depending on how the rotations come. But Echo last pick.
Hero or mid laner that is good going up against a Fanny.
That's so tough.
Terizla.
I guess Cho.
They need someone, a mage that can bring a purifier.
Cho.
I think it is gonna be a mid lane Angela. Then it'll either be a Cho or a Kufra
Yeah.
for the roam. Unless he wants to go Jawhead, I don't know. Jawhead roam.
Whoa.
Will he field the Natalia here, maybe?
Still with Jawhead.
No, still the Cho, yeah.
Oh, as you mentioned.
Great predictions, Eterna.
Thank you.
1 point today.
So 2 roams here will be played by the side of Echo.
Yeah. But it's gonna be Sanji building more magic damage. They need Sanji to build magic damage.
Yeah, they're severely lacking in it as well.
Yep.
I guess. All right, we'll call the casters once again. Kring, kring, kring. Phone a friend. 50-50.
Hola, me llamo es Mirko and Leo. How's everybody doing? I'm looking at Bren here, AP Bren. They played game 1 very well. And there's one thing I'm asking, Mirko. Where's the beef? The Minotaur is still at large.
That was a good one, Leo. But back on the caster desk stand, I honestly think, yeah, man, Bren, they've gotten an even better composition in game number 1, I believe, here. And guess what, Super Marco? He is on his comfort hero, the Beatrix. I called it in game number 1. I said, I think they're going to go for the Beatrix. It's a bit scary against the Grok, but now it came true.
And it's a safe pick. I mean, you would know. As a gold laner, you would know.
Safest pick.
And if you watch a majority of SPS matches, you would know that besides the Claude, the Beatrix is the next big thing, and it's been so for the past couple of years, but that doesn't change anything, all right? Let's get back into the game. It's up to the Orcas to even the score and take us to game 3, and I'm pretty sure they loaded a bit of their lessons from game 1, and will play better. Now here in game 2, we see a counter mirror start here for both Zyda and Kyle TZ. And this early on, you can see that Zyda's making the most of a lost time. He's double capping way up top.
Oh, Sanford going aggressive first blood. My goodness gracious. Flap TZ though, beautiful sidestep from Sanford to get out and to win the trade. Echo, they are starting loud and proud.
Yep, we're off to a great start already if you're from the Purple Nation. Because, again, they learned from that lesson from game 1. They lost that initial engage, and now they're making up for it. Kyle TZ, though, threatening a kill, maybe a steal.
Let's see, both retributions up here. Oh, Zyda picks it up. Doesn't give it over to Kyle TZ, but Kyle did use his retry. So it was just a win overall from Echo. Across the board, up top and down below.
Yep, a minute and a half into game number 2, and they're looking at a 500 gold lead solid already. In that last engage, all right, in that last sequence, folks, you'll see that it's a small opportunity cost for Kyle TZ to have threatened a steal, right? So they wasted maybe 10, 15 seconds of trying to bait something out of Zyda, but again, Zyda super composed, super sure of himself, able to take control and again maintain that lead. Let's look at the emblems real quick. This is enough time for us to actually break things down and digest what might happen here in game number 2. Echo did it again, man. There's a triple common emblem run.
Yeah, this time again, it's the Angela, the Claude, and the Uranus. It just seems like, actually, yeah.
Sustainability is the key.
Sustainability is the key.
We ain't going home.
Wait. Was the 3 common emblems start from Bren or from Echo?
That was Echo too.
It was Echo too.
It was all Echo.
So they just really like this. I mean, now it's not actually JP on the Grok, right? Now it's Angela, mid, coming down from Sanji. How do you feel about Sanji?
We've seen that in the groups. We've seen it in the groups. And I mentioned this earlier today, hanging out with Gideon.
Okay.
I have mixed feelings, man. If you can make it work, more power. But looking at them now, like especially if worst case scenario, we make it like 15, 16 minutes on the game, and they're defending their base for their lives. at rates really low on the wave clear scale. 1 to 5, 1.5 at best.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you here, but something that caught my eye instantly here was Claude. Usually we do see the quantum charge on the Claude most of the time, but this time around he actually opted to go Brave Smite up against the Beatrix. I think this is a very good choice of emblem, understanding that you're going to be bullied a lot against this Beatrix in lane. Now, not anymore. Actually, I would actually say Claude beats the Beatrix with the Brave Smite. You're able to sustain and stay in lane much longer, but thing is, it never truly is a 1v1 for Bren.
Yep, that's the principle of why you put Brave Smite on Claude, especially with a common emblem, folks. And I hope you don't take this as gospel, all right? I hope you guys take this with a grain of salt, and when you do execute and practice this in ranked, understand that this is only mainly for early to mid. In the late game, it doesn't act like a house clause at home. No, it's really just for you to get there. So for all of y'all wondering, like, why are you putting a tank talent or tank emblem skill on a marksman? It's because it's for you to get to the late game.
Yeah, it's a survivability, understanding that, you know, again, Bren have been putting so much pressure, so many of their resources down to the gold lane. You need that extra survivability, and that's why the Brave Smite plus the Tenacity is going to be a very, I would say, disgusting combo. Especially looking at the items here, Leo. Steel leg plates, and then he's going for boots. Instantly, tough boots.
Another pair of pants.
Another pair of pants.
Pair of pants, leather jerkin, boots. That's where he's going here. And something to note as well, right? Everything that Outplayed has brought to the game here in the first couple of minutes is for sustainability. Even his tier 1 talent, tier 1 emblem, agility. So he wants to be able to move around, call back home, and then walk back into the lane. This is very important for a gold laner.
Especially the common emblem, right? This is the reason most clones actually go for the common emblem as well. The adaptive regen gives you so much survivability because you're able to just constantly spam your first skill, staying at 5 stacks, giving you so much more movement speed, and you're able to just run circles around your opponent.
And this is amplified by Sanji's first item. He's expecting to be pulling double duties here. Cooldown boots. Immediately. All right, I know I'm going to have to throw these love waves very fast, very quick. And every few seconds I shave off of Hearthguard from the early to mid is going to help save my cores when it matters. So great start already by Echo. We've taken the past couple of minutes to break down their game plan in the early to hopefully make it into the mid and late and get us the game 3.
All right, back again into the Land of Dawn we go. Technical pause has elapsed. Welcome back. 1 minute in, still, as a recap, Echo 1-0, and also securing their purple buff. No invade for Kyle, but up top there's a gang. Sanford not really at risk of dying.
Yep, he's not going to take this. Oh, wait, indeed he does. I'm talking about a fight, but he stole the gold buff from right underneath Kyle TZ's nose, just off of an Ionic Edge.
These steals, little by little, is going to build up, man. Zyda was able to out-retreat Kyle TZ, and that gold buff steal from Sanford, again, the frustration will build, especially considering, again, JP add more onto it, stack it up. Zoned away from his purple buff, has to give it away, recalls. Free turtle over to Echo.
Oh, not just. The fact is, AP Bren are behind almost 1,000 gold. And wait, Zyda, he didn't spend it, he didn't spend it!
Oh, Kaltizi still gets it now, jumping on to the members of the cutthroat. JP gets over the wall. Sanji now trying to tie Kaltizi up, finds it. View! In the back, dashes forward aggressively, finds the kill, but now is pinned down! Penalty zone onto 3, Kaltizi ripping them apart with the blades. Now it's Flapteezy versus Zyda. Zyda's trying to cut away right now. He dashes out of the wall. Sanford chasing Kaltizi down. He's gonna have to recall, but man, who won that?
You know what? Looking at the whole sequence, I think we've ended up back at deadlock. We've ended up where we started, with Echo slightly ahead. And with that, I have to say, maybe Echo is investing a little too much in sustainability, but I think it's paying off. The fact that they can bait AP Bren into a false sense of security, into thinking, yeah, no, this is the same Echo we played in game 1. Just go, 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 whoa. It is not the same, because AP Bren are running into a brick wall right now. It's a pretty mobile brick wall at that, and now it's helping Echo win the early game.
I like that, right? A mobile brick wall. That's Echo's trying to construct, I would say, right now. And again, it's all about the distraction from JP. He goes into the enemy jungle, building frustration to Kyle. And even in this lane, outplayed. Again, out-sustaining Super Marco on that quantum charge. And who's been taking the lead here? In the lane itself, it's outplayed.
And that's scary to think, right? We were saying, yo, outplay just wants to make it to the mid. He just wants to build his core items. But when that kind of mindset gets you into a winning position, that's dangerous. Look, Echo are locking Kyle TZ out of his purple.
Even Zyda now, TZ. Oh, doesn't even get that, I believe, right now. They're going to go on to the purple buff. Retribution ready, JP! With a brilliant win, the Dragon bringing Kyle TZ back, but he's still able to survive. It's the Wombo in the back. Ogwin finds a kill back. In the back now. What? Sanji, how did he get picked off? Out of nowhere, Zyda steals the purple, but is it really worth 2 kills?
2 for none? And you're against Kyle TZ, who wasn't really looking to go around the map and pick fights anyways? I'd like to think that's a win for AP Bren, especially since they shrank the gold lead now down to 500 here, under 5 minutes. Let's see how this turtle take goes. Zyda doesn't have a retry. Kyle TZ does. Oh, big 3v3. Now making it a 4v3.
Kyle TZ with retribution on point. JP, 2-man knockdown with the Dragon coming up now. Owen brought back, but View picks the kill up. Super Marco with the snipes. AP Bren with a dub.
All right. Now we got a ball game. There's the rally. That's ping pong, by the way, because it's so fast. In the past 5 minutes, we saw almost immediately Echo win, and then now AP Bren win. And then just like that, AP Bren are now a little more comfortable here. They've jockeyed for position, now in the lead, 5-3. Just barely a 200, 300 gold lead. What does this mean for Echo, right? Maybe this means they should dial it back down. Maybe they should not cross the river as much, because this is going to happen.
Oh, everything. Just everything thrown in a kitchen sink as well on the Sanford. Understanding he doesn't have Purify. Meanwhile, JP, again, his frustration build up. JP is just looking at Super Marco, staring him down as his gold laner. Uh-oh. Good way the Dragon bringing it to outplayed now. Super Marco going to be gunned down with the Blazing Duet. My goodness, Echo.
All right. Who am I to tell an MDL, MPL, and M4 winning lineup what to do? All right, who am I? I think the next best thing, which they're doing now, is to change their target. Earlier, it was all about bothering Kyle. How about now, we bear down on Marco?
Same thing that AP Bren did to Echo all the way in the early game. Just bully outplayed out of his own lane, and now it's happening. He's getting a taste of his own medicine as outplayed. He might actually be able to outplay this right now, but no. Kyle TZ cuts him down.
And that's the work of the Lethal Ignition. He propped it by going at the relatively high speeds, and then poof, with the ult. Ladies and gentlemen, AP Bren here, keeping this lead tight. But that doesn't mean Echo aren't going to continue the shenanigans that they've been putting on, starting since minute 0. Here we see 4 members of Bren trying to make a difference in bot.
Oh, JP, good way the Dragon, getting him out of there, but Kyle TZ comes back under the turret. No! A beautiful snipe from downtown from the Super Marco himself.
That's an alley-oop. We saw the cutthroat come off and cool down immediately, just as JP was about to shun pull away. But yeah, no, Echo read the room, opportunity elsewhere. They're gonna go and take the turtle away. Got the purple!
Grand Theft Purple in front of Zyda, and Zyda, to make it even better, used the retry as well. It was a 50-50 retry battle. Heck, Zyda was in the lead, so it was technically what? 60, 55, 45?
There you go.
Okay.
Math. Now, on to the mid-game here, 7 minutes and 30 seconds in. Zyda put at about half health. Hearthguard checked in by Sanji. Interesting, the map is a deadlock. They've taken same amount of turrets, and we're at very close gold net worths here. I think it'll come down to if Echo is willing to let this lead go and then ramp up to a power spike, because Outplay died once, yes, but he's on his way to a healthy item build, right? He's down 400 gold, but as soon as, there you go, I was about to say, as soon as he gets that golden staff, maybe he can pick off like the softies with JP.
Yeah. 2 letters for you, Leo. CD. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Kyle TZ now going to be knocked up and taken out. My goodness, beautiful lockdown. View now caught. He stole the hard guard, but it's only to give a kill over to Echo, who now takes back the gold lead, takes back control of the game.
Oh, and we were just about to say, man, maybe he can go get a tag team kill. He did more than just that. He took 2 down with his posse. And that's an interesting interaction, right? Since we've seen Angela now become an in-demand and hot commodity. Hell, he's on underneath!
Still outplayed, able to get out with the BMI now. Good damage from Flap TZ, both disengaging, just clearing out the mini waves.
Right.
But back to my point, CD, cool down is the name of the game
Cool down.
for Sanji, right?
Cool down.
Cool
All right.
down boots and fleeting time, and yeah, cool down.
All right.
Literally.
I just noticed there's an interaction between Valentina and Angela.
Okay.
Even with the Hearth Guard,
Uh-huh.
you end up kind of stealing the Hearth Guard.
Oh.
Unless it was procced first before he got inside of Outplayed. Timing is wonky here, but yeah, that explains why if he was trying to get inside, Kyle TZ to save him. Now, fight breaks out. Sanford very low.
Purifying, still ready.
Yep.
Hard guard as well. Zyda walks back up. JP trying to kick Calteezy away from this purple buff. There we go. Retribution already used up. They have this information. JP knocks him up, but Super Marco guns him down. Lord only at half, not even. And Echo might have to push away, fall back.
Yep, they may have gone to the point of no return because Lord's very low here. A third of its health left, and they're fighting a 4v5. Penalty zone on a 1.
Wait, they're committing Leo now. I'll play with the Blazing Duet onto the back line. Minions Fury to knock him up and cancel on the Blazing Duet as the first come through the hard guard. But Zyda, he goes in for the Lord. He finds it. Now Calteezy with the first down. Zyda's next to the chopping block, and certainly he gets cut down as well. 3-4-0.
Laser focus on these major objectives. That has what allowed Echo to ramp up into this mid to late game. And I gotta say, I'm loving it. But up to when is that gonna matter? Up to when can you keep doing that and not get punished hard by AP Bren? Because yeah, you got the Lord, yeah, you got traded out, but it's going to get so much worse. Am I seeing that right? Is there Sea Halberd?
Yeah.
There's Sea Halberd on Kyle?
Yes. Full Sea Halberd picked up by Kyle TZ.
All right, so he's had it. Sanford, Sanji, enough's enough.
Wow. And then again, the itemization just absolutely phenomenal. I want to see what Super Marco has BOD into the Malefic Roar, building up to a Wind of Nature. Or, I mean, yeah, it's probably a Wind of Nature, but Super Marco, knowing he's 5-1, usually goes for something a bit more aggressive.
Maybe breed out.
No, he goes Wind of Nature. No, never mind.
Played safe, man.
Played safe.
There's a reason why he's Super Marco.
Yeah.
A lot of people would listen to the intrusive thoughts, right?
Super Mirko wouldn't have done that.
This is a very different player.
No, he would have been 1-5 by this point.
Real is real, knows, man. Gold earned again. There's a reason why Super Marco is here on top right now, and we're talking both figuratively and literally, looking at the gold earned. But yeah, no matter how far ahead you are as AP Bren, thousands and change. A 3v1 is 3v1. Flappy's not gonna be able to defend that, while Calteezy makes the most of a losing lane across the map. He pushes down bottom. Tier 2 goes down as well. So that being said, what's the next move here for Echo? They've gone through so many arcs, man. Super aggressive, choke down on Kyle, choke down on Marco, and now they're on the defense.
I think it's all just about the adjustments from AP Bren. Whatever Echo throw at AP Bren, they're always able to adjust. They go for Super Marco. Super Marco says, hey guys, I need some help here. And the team says, come with us. It's fine. Just lose that lane. We're going to get that turret, and then you come with us. You group up, and then Echo has nothing to say. Their pickoff comp, gone.
And you know what? By answering that in that way, gives me an answer that's clearer for Echo, right? What if Echo's play is to skip that whole step entirely? What if they, instead of looking for winning situations out of losing engagement, they play off map? What if they play everywhere else that AP Bren isn't? Because AP Bren, look at the way that they're built, right? Especially Ogwin. They win when they pick the fight and they re-engage. What if Echo denies that whole thing? But it's going to be difficult because it's so hard to 4-1 with what Echo's drafted.
It's too hard. I mean, technically, they do have a quad to maybe go for a split push, but their composition is very reliant on the Claude as a sole damage dealer. You can't really just have him in the side lane. Then it's going to be a free neutral objective for AP Bren. And taking a look at how good their siege is in this composition, yeah, I don't think you want to give him the Lord.
Yeah. So now we're going to have to come down to it, right? We're going to have to lean hard on that wave clearing scale. And wait, oh, this fight's broken out.
He catches View now, and the View's passion on top of him, and it's Fury! AP Bren collapsed and it's a big one. Sanford falling down. Super Marco with a double kill. Few getting taunted up, but at this point, doesn't even matter.
It was 3 for none, and AP Bren just tunnel vision, all right? Lord's not going anywhere. Let's push hard on the map. Bear down on Echo right now. 13 minutes, 45 seconds in. An inhibitor's gonna go. At least one, at least one.
Galtazy up top, Zyda. Oh, gets him the turret aggro. Now wait, 13 minutes in, Galtazy with a flicker penalty zone. Zyda gun down.
Endable?
Marco's godlike, and
Endable?
certainly enough, it is endable. JP fighting for dear life. Again, an unexpected end.
You blink and you'll miss it. AP Bren find an inch and finish the game by a mile. 13 minutes, 15 seconds in.
And just like that, AP Bren say, no BTR, no Echo. Fight again.
A rematch.
A rematch down below.
Just as quickly. And with enough time for tea. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last series of the night. Congratulations, AP Bren, and you see here the brotherhood between these two Filipino teams. We'll throw it over to our analysts. Eterna, what you got?
Raunchy
Indeed.
match. Raunchy game.
It truly was. It was a match between the two Filipino beasts. But at the end of the day, only one comes out on top, and it's gonna be Bren with a clean 2-0 against the Orcas. 14 minutes, 16-6. They did it twice, right?
Yeah.
In the moment, you're like, no way, they're not gonna end, right? No way they're gonna end. And then they end again, like that. My seat was still up.
Yeah, man. Bren, how they were able to build a comeback out of this. Again, this was Echo who was super disruptive in the early game for Galtazy's farm. They were pressuring his purple side. Sanford shut me up. He handled Flapteasy so well in the EXP lane. But then eventually, AP Bren just found a way to make a comeback. They were trading objectives across the map. They decided to take focus away from solely just around the purple buff of Kyle and started opening up the map more, and they were punishing Echo's mistakes in the team fights.
Yeah, they were able to turn the game around out of Echo's initiation, out of JP's initiation early on. With that Cho flicker, sure, you got the target, but then again, the Minotaur comes through. The Minotaur, he catches 3, and it was then and there Bren put the nail in the coffin. And yeah, this is also why, again, my point in the draft, that Minotaur is such an expensive pick because of this situation, because of the scenario.
Yeah, it's so difficult. Like, you don't want to play into the tempo of Bren. Maybe in the laning phase, you can still work around the Minotaur, as we saw with how Echo were able to have that control. But as soon as both of these teams collapse on the neutral objectives, whether it be Turtle, Lord, or whatever, that's when things get a little bit more messy for Echo. And it really just derives from the pressure that Galtazy was able to have in that particular game. 518 KDA, looking at the emblems, just super, super, super aggressive. Like, what is that?